Eastern Michigan. We welcome you inside to Rynerson Stadium along with former Purdue All-American quarterback Mark Herman. I'm Dan Gutowski. Mark, for this game tonight, we've got a couple of teams that really kind of underachieved last year, so getting off to a good start is very important for their season tonight.
Well, renewed enthusiasm for both ball clubs, just one win for each team. But I think from Mississippi Valley State's standpoint, they have a veteran roster coming back and a very exciting performer in wide receiver Booker Chambers. He's the reigning freshman of the year in the SWAC, and he has some wiggle to him, great speed. He's also an excellent punt returner and kick returner. Had 6 TDs, 3 receptions, and 3 rushing TDs. And he is a very exciting performer. I think Eastern Michigan's going to have to pay a lot of attention to him.
The Eagles' defense is helped out a lot by the return of a guy who didn't get on the field at all last year. The defensive front, Pat O'Connor, returning from injury, could really be a game changer for them tonight.
Well, and he's a 3-year captain. He has great measurables and a terrific motor. He is the heart and soul of this defense, and they're welcoming him back. I think Mississippi Valley better get him blocked to have any success offensively tonight.
Eastern Michigan fired up, hoping they can win the first game of their season for head coach Chris Creighton. The Eagles and the Delta Devils kick off when we come back to Ypsilanti. What a great scene we have set up here tonight for Eastern Michigan in their home opener. A challenge for them. Every game so critical for them, Mark, because of what happened last year. A one-win season for the Eagles. They were close in some games, but just never had enough to get over the hump. And again, the premium of winning your opener, you just really can't undersell that, can you?
Exactly. A team that's looking for confidence opportunities, and the opener is so critical to set the tone for the rest of the year. Coach Chris Creighton emphasized that the motto this year is let it roll. Let's just go out there and just play loose, play like we expect to win football games. And I asked him, does there get to be a certain amount of doubt during the course of a game that you can't close things out? And he said, yeah, that's crept in. But I think the key to this year is learning how to win, learning how to finish games.
The Delta Devils win the coin toss. They will defend, and so Eastern will go on offense first. And the Eagles are in their home green jerseys. The Delta Devils from Mississippi Valley State in the road white. And they will kick off. Ruben Parakeev is their kickoff specialist. A very, very scenic, picture-perfect night. Ball caught at the 10-yard line, and a pretty good return. Eastern Michigan's going to push it all the way up to their 30-yard line. Blake Banham on the return. So with Eastern Michigan trying to step up, get things going early in this game, it's going to be a challenge. They start from the 35-yard line.
And this will be the first start for quarterback Todd Porter, coming over from community college. And I expect that they'll kind of ease him into this football game, maybe get a big dose of Shaq Van to start this football game.
Porter starting in place of Brogan Roback, who has been suspended. We don't know for how long. So for Eastern Michigan, they're going to have to look sharp early. They run on first down, a good gain of maybe 5 yards. Shaq Van, we're going to call his name a lot tonight. He will carry the load in the running game for Eastern Michigan. But Porter, a junior, 6'3", 204 pounds, had a little stint at Western Kentucky in a bad snap. He'll just have to go down with it, and a big loss for Eastern Michigan.
Well, that's a tough play there, as you're wanting to start with some good momentum, and you get an unforced error there with the low snap, and Todd Porter, all he could do was just fall on the football. Now you're in a third and very long situation, and you never know how your team's going to react in an opening game, and there's a little bit of nervousness from the center.
3rd down and 16. Eagles want to keep this drive going. A lot of time, and a deep ball knocked away. Good coverage in the secondary by the Delta Devils. Devin McAllister able to get that hand up, knock that pass down, and the Eagles go 3 and out.
Devin McAllister at the height of that throw and knocks it away, and very well played there. He kind of just suckered Todd Porter into making that throw, and he delivered a nice play at the point of attack.
So Eastern Michigan with Austin Barnes, kind of a secret weapon for them, one of the best punters in this Mid-American Conference. So he's got a legitimate leg and will certainly help the special teams cause for Eastern Michigan. And he'll hit kind of a low punt that will take a bounce and no return. The ball rolling all the way down to the Delta Devils 25-yard line. So Austin Barnes gets the hop. And the Delta Devils coming out on offense. A 51-yard punt. We mentioned Booker Chambers, probably the premier offensive threat for the Delta Devils when they have the football. Quarterback Austin Bray, a junior, expecting to up his game this year for Mississippi Valley State, and they will start from their own 25-yard line. Handoff on 1st down. This is Thomas Stokes. He gets swallowed up by that big defensive front for the Eagles and pushed back a whole bunch of yards. Maybe a loss of about, well, looked better than it actually ends up. They're just going to spot it back at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, he got a little bit of a forward push, but not much. And this defensive front for Eastern Michigan is outstanding. And the coaching staff, they expect this group to dominate this evening.
Second down and still 10. Bray with a little bit of time to throw. Ball is underthrown, incomplete, intended, and drops. Impact players as we look at the offense for the Delta Devils. Thomas Stokes, the running back. You know he'll get his number called a lot tonight. And Chambers, the explosive playmaker in their passing game. Defensively, we mentioned O'Connor, the big force up front. He can make some big things happen when they rush the passer. And in the secondary, DeQuan Pace, the senior from Detroit, a very accomplished player from the Motor City. We're looking at 3rd down and 10. And a lot of pressure. They set up the screen. It's complete, but they barely get back to the line of scrimmage. Eastern's defense stepping up with a 3 and out on their first go.
And Kyle Rockwall, who is a real playmaker, he just has a great instinctive nature about him, and really well read on the screenplay there. He was exactly where he needed to be. And shaky offense for both teams early in this football game. Excellent series there for the EMU defense.
So Eastern's offense is going to get back on the field here, and that is certainly good news for the Eagles. Blake Banham set to return the punt, and flags thrown before the snap. So the Delta Devils will step it back 5 yards, and Eastern Michigan's going to get some good field position out of this, assuming Banham can handle the punt and get a good return. He's standing now at the Eastern 45-yard line. Justin Reed, the punter, only a freshman, and he gets off a punt. Fair catch, caught and secured at the 45. Eastern Michigan trying to get their offense juiced up. Banham with no return. And again, the little bit of pressure on Eastern Michigan. They didn't find out until about a week and a half ago that Brogan Roback was going to serve this suspension. Again, it's indefinite. We don't know how long. So that puts a little bit more heat on Eastern Michigan's Todd Porter. He doesn't, it's not a matter of knowing. I mean, you're a former quarterback. When you know that your starting position is finite, it changes if you know that you could be in there for a longer stretch and you don't know how long.
Yeah, I mean, you just go out there and play, Dan, and you can't think about those things. You think about what you can control, your ability to lead this football team, and also you want to get the football to the playmakers and be a leader out there on the field. And Todd Porter has all the ability that they want to see out of him. It's just, can he go out there and execute and be calm and be a good leader?
Okay, Mark, you had a great career at Purdue. What was the adrenaline rush for you in your first starting game as a Big Ten quarterback, and compare it to what maybe Todd is going through tonight?
Yeah, I started as a true freshman, so it doesn't get much more nerve-wracking than that. But I'm sure he's prepared all week. You know, you almost have to just kind of take a number of deep breaths. You're playing a game, you played your whole life, and you just got to go out there and relax and rely on your teammates. Don't try to make Todd Porter do more than he can. I think he just needs to play within the play called and just do what he does best. And I'm hoping, he'll relax and start making plays that we know he's capable of doing.
Eastern Michigan's wide receiving core consists of a lot of junior college transfers, so there's still a little bit of chemistry maybe to work out as the Eagles start at their 45. High snap, Van will run, and he will get smashed at the point of attack. Maybe a 1-yard gain for the Eagles.
Well, this is going to be a key part of this game, is how can that defensive line hold up against that Eastern Michigan offensive front. And really well played that time by the linebacking position and that interior D.
They give him a gain of 2, so it's 2nd down and 8. Porter's going to roll to that far side. On the run, complete. That's an Eastern first down, and he stays up. Finally forced out. 3 players had a chance to tackle him, but Eastern Michigan hooking with Dan Bushman. 6'3", 243 pounds. He's very hard to break down.
Absolutely, and a nice throw by Porter on the run. Bushman knows what to do after the catch. A very physical play there. And first big play here for Eastern Michigan. The
Eagles go up tempo. They're gonna try to keep this Delta Devil defense off balance. Ball is spotted inside the 30 at the 28-yard line. Van is gonna run, and a little bit of room in the middle. He'll get inside the 25. Very close to a first down, maybe about a yard away. Brings up 3rd down and 1. This is Van up the middle, falling ahead for an Eastern first down.
The coaches are expecting a big year out of Shaq Van. He can do it all. He can run downhill. He catches the football very well. He's turned into an outstanding leader, and I think early in this season, I think he is going to hopefully get 25 to 30 touches in the course of a game, and that's a nice conversion there on 3rd and short.
They didn't get a good spot, but they did get enough for the first down, and the ball is at the Delta Devil 24. Eastern on the move after starting this drive with great field position. Bad snap. And the run and the keep, actually a pretty good one, as Porter has to improvise. Corey Brown making the stop, but it's not really comforting when the coach sees that bad quarterback-center exchange, is it?
And as a quarterback, if you're expecting that ball to be all over the place, that's not a very good feeling. And a nice job of athleticism by Todd Porter, just catching that football and getting upfield, but he took a big hit at the end.
Porter gets 1 yard. It is 2nd and 7. From the 21-yard line. Porter's got a lot of time, and he throws complete in the middle on his feet inside the 10. Eastern Michigan in the air to Sergio Bailey. Tackled by Corey Brown, but the Eagles pushing even deeper into Delta Devil territory. 1st and goal at the 7.
They knew Mississippi Valley State was going to bring pressure and bring a lot of blitzes. Well read by Todd Porter. Excellent route by Sergio Bailey, and he almost took it in the end zone. Great job of breaking the tackle.
Van up the middle, pushing, and down about the 1. Very close. Eastern opening some holes up in the middle and running that football effectively. They're going to down it at the 1, 2nd and goal. Van goes 5'10", 213 pounds. So this is a guy that can really push the pile. He will push, and he will score for Eastern Michigan.
By the offensive line, you pull the tight end into the hole. Shaq Van, we know, is a physical runner. He's able to nudge forward and get the last yard for the score. He had 5 TDs last year. As I mentioned, he's looking to have a big year this year behind his very experienced offensive line.
So the Eagles taking care of business, taking care of good field position. And the PAT by Paul Percano is good, and the Eagles get on the board here on their second offensive possession. A 7-0 lead at home for the Eagles for first. Last year, Shaq Van really came on late in the season for Eastern Michigan in their running game, and he is a playmaker for sure for Eastern Michigan. And he's got them off to a 7-0 lead here against the Mississippi Valley State Delta Devils.
Well, the thing I like about Shaq Van is his ability to not only hit between tackles, but he has great speed as well to be able to get outside. So he is definitely the full package here for EMU.
Ball caught inside the 10. This is Booker Chambers, and he's able to maneuver to about the 20-yard line, maybe about the 21. So they want to get Chambers as many touches as they can. We talk about the struggles Eastern Michigan had last year, Mark. It was not much better for the Delta Devils in the SWAC. They only had 1 win last year. So, again, as we talked about, teams that are hoping that a good start in their opener can maybe be a springboard to a reversal of fortune from last year.
They've got 76 returning players from last year, so there's some experience and there's some veteran leadership, but they've got to find some playmakers, and they've got to, rally around Austin Bray a little bit and his talents. So I think they're going to try to maybe hit some big plays here early in this first quarter.
Bray throws and completes near side to Grant Sims. Sims gets swallowed up. Maybe a gain of only 2 yards. It's a challenge for the Delta Devils. You don't want to gamble too early and be aggressive, but we really haven't seen them look aggressively downfield in the passing game. It's been pretty conservative so far, so that's something that the Delta Devils might have to consider offensively is, can we stretch the field a little bit in some way?
Yeah, I think they're worried about protection issues here early in this game, and they want some safe throws for Austin Bray to kind of get a rhythm, but they've got to be able to block this front four, and we talked about Pat O'Connor. He's a terrific threat at that left defensive end.
2nd down and 9. They're going to throw the other way. Ball is loose. Is it picked up by Eastern? No, the referees say he is down. No, it's Eastern football. They got the pressure and they got the turnover. And who else but Pat O'Connor making big things happen for the Eagles?
Well, what a terrific player, Pat O'Connor, from that left defensive end, and they certainly welcome him back, coming from the blind side, and the sack and the strip. And he welcomed back Mr. O'Connor. That is a big-time play. Outstanding leader, outstanding playmaker.
So the Eagles ready to pounce after a turnover. It's going to set them up at the 14-yard line. And turnovers can be a quarterback's best friend. At least if you're Todd Porter, it certainly is. They'll try to capitalize on good field position again. They will run straight up the middle. This time it's Ian Erickson. Sophomore running back, 5'10", 206. Again, he's kind of built a lot like Shaq Van. He runs a lot like him, too. Just a lot of power.
Yeah, they're going to feature a downhill running attack and just get behind this big offensive line. You've got a short field. You don't want to make any mistakes here in the red zone, and so they're going to stay conservative.
2nd down and 6. Khalil Young on the tackle after the short run. Yeah, getting a couple of scores here in this first quarter would be so comforting for Chris Creighton and the EMU coaching staff. Got an offsides call here and a free play in the end zone. Incomplete. Isaac Holder was the intended wideout, but it was a freebie for Eastern Michigan anyway.
Offsides, defense, number 40. 5-yard penalty, third down.
Corey Brown called for the infraction. Actually, it looked like two guys got a jump.
Yeah, the Delta Devils want to bring pressure a lot, and they're very anxious to challenge that line of scrimmage, and got a little over anxious there, and Corey Brown with the offside. So now you've got a third and very short one here to pick up the first.
They're going to hand off, and there's a little run in this end zone. Touchdown, Eastern Michigan. Ryan Erickson following up Shaq Mann. So 2 touchdowns in the first quarter for EMU.
Sure, it's a struggle running the football and stopping the run. And very much great performance here by the offensive line, taking advantage of that turnover, and Erickson punches it in. Great effort there as he really does those last 2 or 3 yards just by himself.
EMU capitalizing with good field position and a very productive rushing game. And that sets up the Eagles with a touchdown lead here. 14-0 is our score. Eastern leading over MDSU. Yeah, the Eastern Michigan fans having a good time here in Ypsilanti as the weather is cooperating and the football is cooperating for them. A 14-0 lead, and the Eagles will kick off. Their defense has been solid, and again, the offense taking advantage of good field position. So Brendan Renius will kick off, and here's Booker on the return, gets outside the 20 to about the 23. Okay, Mark, so now if you're Rick Comagee, the head coach for Mississippi Valley State, you got to start thinking a little bit about maybe trying to put a little bit more pressure on Eastern's defense.
Yeah, you've got to open things up a little bit on first down and just put yourself in a better position. And certainly, you've got to figure out a way to block Pat O'Connor as well. And this is, as we said, he's a tough customer, but get a quick rhythm passing game, and then, maybe do a double move or something by the wide receivers. You've got to try to manufacture something, big play here to get back in this thing.
Starting at their own 24. Pressure coming on the run. He will throw, and off the fingertips of the guy he's always looking at, Booker Chambers, but Booker couldn't hold that one. Boy, nothing harder on a young quarterback than having a pocket that does not hold.
Yeah, Austin Bray is flushed out of the pocket, and he does a good job keeping his eyes downfield, and really not a bad throw here. Booker Chambers normally makes that play, but unable to pull it in.
So the Delta Devils are going to call a timeout. Our first timeout taken by either team in this first half, and well, it's been a big uphill battle so far for the Delta Devils. It's first quarter football here at Eastern Michigan. They lead 14-0. Third down and 9. They're going to throw it deep down the middle. An open man, but it's overthrown. A little bit too high and heavy for Trey Sims. Good coverage by Ross Williams, but that was a play that should have been there for the Delta Devils.
Yes, that was a great big play opportunity. Austin Bray is disappointed that ball. Sims had a couple steps on the defender, and that's just the type of play that can get the Delta Devils right back into this football game. Bray took a big hit at the end of that one, but that's a missed opportunity here by Mississippi Valley State.
And the other downer is, it's been 3 straight 3-and-outs for Mississippi Valley State's offense. It's going to put a lot more pressure on your defense the longer they're on the field. Here's the punt, caught at the 37, and Eastern Michigan's going to get it outside of the 42. Blake Banham on that return for EMU. So still a lot of first quarter football left, and unfortunately, nothing good has happened so far for the Delta Devils.
Yeah, you made a good point about the defense there. This is a team that, is young. They've got some playmakers, but, when you're up against a veteran team like Eastern Michigan and you're dealing with tough field position, Eastern Michigan's had outstanding field position, and they've done a marvelous job moving the football via the run here early in this game.
EMU's had advantages, and they've taken advantage of those advantages with good field position here on first down. There's a deep throw in the middle, wide open to the tight end, and an ankle tackle stops it from being a touchdown. Eastern loves to hook with that tight end, and they've got a very good one. A big play and a big strike for Eastern Michigan. Nigel Kilby stretches it out. Mark Pegues makes the touchdown-saving tackle, but Eastern's inside the 25. They're going to run. A quarterback keep, and that doesn't do much for EMU as Porter gets dropped by 2 white jerseys.
And I love the first down play call, going to the play action, and the tight ends are a group of strength for this ball club. We've seen outstanding performances so far early by a couple with Bushman, and then with that big play here to the tight end. So excellent start, but Todd Porter corralled on that keeper.
Second down and 13. It's a loss for Eastern. Ball is at the Delta Devils 27. They're going to throw a corner route, end zone, too hot. Todd Porter looking for Antoine Porter. No relation. One Porter to another. Brings up third down and 13.
Caleb DeBoer just loves Antoine Porter. He thinks he has a great ability. Comes in from a junior college and he runs that slot as well as anybody. Very good route runner. And that time he had a couple steps, and Porter just overthrew him by a couple steps.
So Eastern Michigan getting more aggressive in the passing game. They can do that when you got a 2-touchdown lead in the first quarter. Third and 13. Porter throws in the middle, tipped, almost picked. So they got a little conservative, and it's going to be a field goal opportunity here for Eastern Michigan. Looking at about a 44-yard kick. Paul Fricano, not a lot of experience. Actually, we're going to call it a 49-yard field goal, and now a timeout taken.
Timeout, Eastern Michigan. Their first charge timeout of the half. 30-second timeout.
So Eastern gets the big play to get him deep into Delta Devil territory, but the drive is going to stall. They're going to take a field goal here, or attempt a field goal. Let's go back and watch that play that set it up, Mark. This was a great read and a great throw.
Well, the good run game has set up a nice play action. Very accurate throw, excellent catch there, and almost broke a tackle to get a score. But that was a very good play call, great execution, and really got Eastern Michigan going in that drive. It did stall out there at the end, but excellent play.
Yeah, they went 34 yards on that pass to Kilby, and you could see he had a big size advantage over that defender. Again, this field goal attempt from 49 yards out. And it's going to be way short. Not even close. And it's covered in the end zone. The officials blow it dead, so that drive doesn't pan out the way the first two did for Eastern Michigan. So a moral victory for the Delta Devils defensively. Now, though, the focus back on the offense. They got to get a first down and kind of start to put some things together here.
Yeah, once you get that first down, then you start getting a little bit of confidence, and you get some flow and you get some pump in your step. But they've just not been able to handle the line of scrimmage, both protection-wise and in the run game. So just need something good, positive happen here early in this drive, and then you get things going.
Eastern averaging over 4.5 yards a play. The Delta Devils, negative yardage is their average. So
minus 7 yards rushing so far.
Yeah, that numbers tell you the whole story of this first quarter of football. 1st and 10 at the 20 for MVSU. They'll throw in the middle, incomplete. Grant Sims hoping for a call, maybe some contact there, but no flag, and it's an incomplete pass.
In Michigan State, or Eastern Michigan, excuse me, and just up in press coverage. A little bit of contact there, a little bit of holding, but the officials just felt it was aggressive play. But they've gone to the 4-2-5 defense with Neil Nethery as the defensive coordinator. They've had a long history with Coach Creighton, and it's been a defense where they'll play some quarters and they'll play some man coverage behind it as well.
They're going to run. They're going to get a big push, very close to a first down, maybe a yard short. Thomas Stokes on the carry. And the chains are moving for MVSU. Not quite. They got the first down, so they're at the 37-yard line. And Rick Comagee finally something to be happy about on the visitor sideline. 1st and 10 from the 37.
Thomas Stokes, much like his counterpart Shaq Van, similar build, but not as much blocking in front of him, but he had the nice run, but that time well defended by Eastern Michigan.
Bray runs there, good tackle. Eastern Michigan, again, they're winning the battle in the trenches and the defensive line, and we cannot underscore the importance for Eastern Michigan and the return of Pat O'Connor. He had so much leadership, talent, etc. to what they want to do up front.
Well, they gave up 315 plus yards rushing per game last year. You cannot win football games giving up that yardage. So that was goal number one.
Illegal substitution, offense, 12 men on the field. 5-yard penalty, second down.
So they're going to back it up, and it's a second down and 16. 3 penalties for 15 yards for Mississippi Valley State's Delta Devils.
Rick Comagee, third-year coach for the Delta Devils, came over from Jackson State, had great success there, and is hoping to impart some success here with the Delta Devils.
Low snap, ball is mishandled. Eastern all over it. They'll pick it up, and they'll get it inside the 5. Eastern Michigan's pressure just all over the Delta Devils, and it sure looks like Pat O'Connor right in the thick of it. Are we surprised? Not one bit.
No, a very low snap and just a bull rush on Austin Bray, and looked like Jeremiah Harris, the junior defensive end, the bull position as they call it, was able to scoop that up and get it inside the 5. So second turnover against the Delta Devils.
Pat O'Connor playing like a guy who has missed football quite a bit. Missed all of last year with that labium injury. I'm sure it's one of those shoulder muscles. And he's injured. Kept him out all of last year. Play fake, they throw wide open, and did he get in? No. They call it a touchdown. They say he did break the plane. Eastern Michigan able to score, not easy. right at the goal line with Eastern's Levante Robinson, the fullback.
Great open field tackle. Looked like he was wide open there, but Nicholas Everett comes flying up.
Ruling on the field is a touchdown.
And this is going to be very close. It looked like he was right at the goal line, but look at that tackle in the open field.
Did he have possession when he crossed, though? I think that's what they're going to look at in the replay booth.
Just a marvelous tackle.
Yeah, I gotta say, at first look, I don't think he's got possession there. And then the question is, well, if it doesn't get picked up by Eastern Michigan, that's Delta Devil football, right?
Yeah, this is going to be very close, whether it's definitively on the replay, but looks like they're going to call it a score.
Don Borden is the replay official tonight. And it is not going to go in favor of the Delta Devils, although it looked like maybe a 50-50 ball. So Eastern Michigan piling it on early here. We're still in the first quarter. And they are up 21-0 after the PAT. A short break here from Eastern. The Eagles making a lot of noise. Well, this is the kind of start you're hoping for in your home opener if you're the home team.
Exactly.
Not if you're the road team.
Well, you're right. And they wanted positive things to happen, and I think in every phase good things have happened, and particularly from the defensive standpoint, the welcome back of Pat O'Connor cannot be overstated, and he has been a monster so far and helping create a couple turnovers that have led to points, and EMU up 21-0 here in the latter part of this first quarter.
Two turnovers by the Delta Devils. That's not going to help you win football games. Ball caught at the 15 and returned about the 25-26 by Charlie Crenshaw, the junior for Mississippi Valley State. The Delta Devils didn't have a win in their season until late last year. Eastern Michigan got their only win of 2015 on the road at Wyoming, and that looked like it might be a turning point for them in the season, because a road win, not easy to do against a Mountain West opponent, and they played well at LSU. Didn't win that game, but once they got into conference play, it was just a matter of not being able to hold on to leads.
Yeah, they played very well for a half or three quarters, but then something bad would happen and they would not react well. So that's just been something that they've wanted to negate, those negative feelings coming into this season, and it's all been positive, and it's all been let's push forward and let's start doing the things that it takes to complete the games and win football games. And I think you're seeing that tonight.
Crenshaw on the carry, only a gain of 2. Ball from the 28. They're going to throw quick to the side here. It's complete. Almost a first down. They hit Jesse Bryant. The junior gets open underneath. And first down.
Yeah, nice throw and catch that time. Soft coverage, and Bryant just ran a nice kind of a 7 or 8 yard hitch route, and ball thrown on time, and good execution to get a first down. So let's see if they can settle down a little bit. It's just been some bad mistakes and penalties and just not crisp execution. So see if they can get in a rhythm here.
Low snap. He'll have to throw on the run, complete underneath. They hook up with Joshua Banks. Banks getting some yardage, so some Kyle Ratchwall making the stop, but Delta Devils with some productive plays here, getting closer to midfield.
They've got some good-looking wide receivers. It's just, can they get the football to them? Can they protect Austin Bray? And I think they're running good routes, and I think there's some opportunities, but got to get that snap quicker. That ball's lingering a little bit, and he's got to be able to get rid of it quickly.
They complete far side, first down. Good tackle after the catch, but the Delta Devils Now they've hit on 3 straight pass plays. Stephen McIntosh, only a freshman. DeQuan Pace makes the tackle, and that was an important tackle. He could have gone very long with that catch.
Absolutely. Single coverage out there. Nice throw and catch, and he almost broke that tackle, and there would have been nobody over there for the EMU. So back-to-back first downs, and excellent drive going here so far for the Delta Devils.
Ball is right near midfield. And the pocket moves again. He'll throw on the run, complete in between 2 defenders. Boy, the passing game's starting to get very sharp. Jesse Bryant, another grab. And that's very important. Austin Bray having to make plays a little bit with his feet to get away from that pressure.
Yeah, I like the poise by Austin Bray. He's not getting flustered. He just rolled to the right a little bit to separate himself from that pressure and threw a nice, accurate football. And a good game on the first down play.
Second down and 2 at the 43. That's where we will end our first quarter of football. The factory is open, and everybody likes what they've seen so far if you're an Eagle fan. 21-0 Eastern at home, leading over Middle Mississippi Valley State. The Delta Devils finally get into Eastern Michigan territory as we start our second quarter here in Ypsilanti. The first weekend of college football. Pump fake and a deep throw, and it is up for grabs, knocked away. A dangerous throw intended for Stephen McIntosh, but DeQuan Pace was one of 3 green jerseys right in the spot.
Yeah, that's one of those where you just throw it and hope your guy makes a play, a little bit underthrown as you have a very tall, rangy receiver, but excellent coverage there by EMU.
Brings up third down and 2. Austin Bray, 6 of 10 passing. We're still looking for some big runs in the rushing game for the Delta Devils. They're looking at third down and 2. They're going to run, and they're going to get bottled up. Nobody was buying that with the Delta Devils running Terrence Barron, the wideout, off the edge. Eastern had green jerseys all in that backfield.
Very slow developing play, and with a big rush here by EMU, that had no chance. So unfortunate end of that series where you had a nice string of some pretty good passing game by Mississippi Valley State, but some big plays here in the last 2 by Eastern Michigan to stall the drive.
Justin Reed will punt. Blake Banham, the deep return man for Eastern, standing at his own 20. And some good pressure, and Banham calls for the fair catch. And Eastern Michigan, at least the Delta Devils don't have to give up good field position to EMU. That was a common theme in the first quarter. Eastern always started their drives with good field position. How do you think the mindset changes for Chris Creighton now? A 21-0 lead after 1 quarter. That's a lot of pressure off of your quarterback. Well, how do you look at things differently now if you're going to maybe help your quarterback explore a little bit more?
Well, if you're wanting to build a winning attitude, you just got to tell your guys to continue to play. We're not looking at the scoreboard. We've seen this happen way too much in the past where we kind of let off on the gas pedal, so continue to execute and keep playing with intensity.
Van exploding for a big run. First down pickup for Eastern. Mark Pegwis makes the tackle, but not before Van picks up big yardage. They're going to give him 17 yards on that run, maybe 18 yards. First and 10 EMU. They're going to go fast again. They call Van's number again, but this time the Delta Devils able to blow it up. That's Corey Brown. All in on that stop for MVSU.
Well, that's how you stop that read zone play. You just take on the blocker and you get great penetration. Corey Brown, outstanding play. So those types of plays will make this defense work, and there just haven't been enough of them in this ball game.
That's a 3-yard loss. It's now 2nd and 13 for EMU. Porter with a lot of time and a deep ball straight down the middle, and it is almost caught. They got a hand on it. Brack Turner almost had it. Wait a minute, Sergio Bailey was the one who got his hand on it but couldn't quite keep his balance to stay up.
Yeah, just stumbled at the end of that, and looked like if he was able to run through it, may have a chance to make the play. So they're taking their chances down the field. I like it when the run game's going. You're able to go to the play action pass, and that was a good look.
3rd and long for Porter. He'll have to run, and he might have enough to get a first down. He jumps, comes up a few yards short, almost at the 45. Boy, you don't want to see your quarterback airborne like that. Kyle Oliver.
Yeah.
Did you ever run like that
Heck
at Purdue?
No, if you've seen my vertical, you wouldn't have wanted to see me jump like that. No, Todd Porter, that's Chris Creighton, I'm sure, has had his heart in his throat when he saw that happen, but no, you weren't going to see that from me.
It was a different kind of football then,
yes,
not the way it is now, right?
Exactly.
You could have, but you chose not to. 4th down and 4. So Eastern's going to have to punt. And the scoreboard obviously lopsided against the Delta Devils, but they've started to come to life a little bit as Barnes gets that one sky high. A fair catch inside the 15. Wow. If we see that from him all year, that will be a lot of excitement for Eastern Michigan. The Eagles flying high, leading 21-0 here, early second quarter at EMU. So not good field position for the Delta Devils from Mississippi Valley State, and they've got some work to do. Trailing by 3 touchdowns here. A lot of second quarter football left here at Eastern. On the run. Here's a deep throw into coverage, and everybody falls down. Not quite interference. They were looking for Booker Chambers. Boy, that could have been a dangerous play for MVSU.
You know, Eastern Michigan's very wary of the deep ball. They knew Austin Bray was going to throw some big balls down the field. That was double coverage against Booker Chambers, and probably an ill-advised throw, but I like the aggressiveness on first down. Now you got to back it up. I think Austin Bray has settled down a little bit, but he's got to start continuing to make those plays.
And they want to find Booker Chambers. They'll run up the middle. Eastern's right there to shut it down. Kyle Ratchwell from the linebacking position, able to put the hammer down and stop that run.
Yeah, he's just an outstanding player, outstanding leader in that middle, and he's been an out. And he and Pat O'Connor, I think, have been the 2 bright spots here early in this football game.
Flag on the turf. They'll pick it up.
Play. Sportsmanlike conduct. Defense, number 92. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down. That is 92's first unsportsmanlike conduct foul.
That's Max Crosby for EMU. One of the defensive linemen, only a redshirt, or sorry, a freshman. And that is not going to fly well with Chris Creighton. You don't want to start doing the little things that can unravel even if you do have a 21-0 lead. And they run wide, and they get good yardage running towards the MVSU sideline.
Well, there's the value of Booker Chambers. He can come from the slot, and he's more like an H-back in that he can carry the football, and he did that very well last year, and he can also catch it very well. So they just want to get the ball in his hands, and that's a nice productive play, bringing up 2nd and 5.
And the thing is, he's got the explosion to stretch the field out, because you know the Delta Devils probably can't win a one-on-one battle in terms of pure strength. They've got to use all the field position. They run him the other way, and they get him the first down that time outside the 40. Luke McLean on the stop, but boy, we're starting to see Booker Thomas get into his comfort zone.
Well, and that's the way they want it to be. And although you've got to be careful, he takes a big hit at the end of this, and he's not the biggest of guys, and so you want to be able to kind of manage his touches, but you just see how dangerous he is with the football.
Yeah, Booker Chambers back-to-back solid runs, and the Delta Devils have pushed out toward midfield at the 42. Play fake, deep ball. They've got to step on their defender, but it's incomplete. He wanted Grant Sims. Ball a little bit off target. Ross Williams on the coverage. A better thrown ball might have made that play work for NDSU. They're
going to continue to press the field and go for the big plays. I like that. Just got to be a little more accurate with the football. There's some plays to be made, but pretty decent coverage there by EMU, but I certainly love the aggressiveness.
2nd down and 10. Austin Bray starting to do some good things. He'll call his own number and he'll get some space and a first down pickup. He really worked to avoid contact. Smart thing to do.
That's right.
Now that's the Mark Herman I remember from Purdue, right?
That's it, exactly. I wasn't going to take on any tacklers, and he's taken some shots early in his game, so he knows where that sideline is, so that's a good job by him.
So it's 1st and 10, and they are inside EMU territory. And pressure coming, and down goes Austin Bray, but a flag. This might go against the Delta Devils.
This is a very young, inexperienced offensive line.
Holding, offense, number 75. That penalty is declined. 2nd down.
And lest we think that the esteemed Mark Herman is just someone that we pulled in off the street to work this game today, he is the 3rd all-time leading passer in Purdue history. Because there might be some kids out there that don't quite know what you did at Ross-Ade Stadium back in the day. But this is a guy who knew how to move the football in the air and in the competitive environment of the Big Ten. So they throw and they complete, and they don't get much after the catch, though. Eastern Michigan able to swarm on that ball.
That's really a good call against a blitz, but just not well executed. And EMU really rallied to the football, and they're definitely keeping an eye on those slot receivers and those slip screens, and that's just a great job of getting a negative play, which quite possibly could have been a big play opportunity for the Delta Devils.
So they got big-time field position problems right here, 3rd and 19. And this is where you got to be careful if you're a quarterback. You don't want to be overly aggressive and make the turnover. Bray's got a little time. He'll dump it off underneath, and the Delta Devils get a little after the catch. It's complete to Andre Eubanks, but they're way short of a first down. And Eastern Michigan's defense, led by the returning Pat O'Connor, they have really lived up to their hype so far today.
Well, he's just a typical hard-nosed player from the south side of Chicago, and he's just an outstanding guy. He really pressures the passer, and he's so physical. And any tackle that they go against, they're going to have their hands full with 52.
Reed will punt, and it's a fair catch called and caught at the 26-yard line by Banham. So a timeout here at Eastern Michigan. A feel-good night for the Eagles. A 21-0 second quarter lead on MVSU. So Eastern Michigan with the football leading 21-0. And they start from their 26. Van is going to run, and he's got nowhere to go in the middle. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage.
Mississippi Valley State, they're going to commit some guys to that line of scrimmage. You've got to eliminate Shaq Van, and you've got to make Todd Porter beat you with some throws. So I think that's been the strategy here in the second quarter, to really kind of make EMU one-dimensional in one regard. Ladrelin
Cheatham makes that tackle. Now they'll toss and run with Van. Only a couple yards off the near edge. Out to about the 30 at the 29. Corey Brown on that stop.
I like Corey Brown at that outside linebacker position. He has a real quickness and athleticism about him and a toughness. Excellent open field tackler, and he's had a good start to this ball game.
3rd and 7 for Eastern Michigan. They had 2 rushing touchdowns early in the first quarter. Play fake. Now some time and a deep ball. Underthrown, intercepted. Nicholas Everett. That ball was kind of handed to him on a plate, intended for Kevin Davis, but Everett right there to grab it, and Eastern makes their first turnover.
Perfect coverage that time. Everett was just right in the hip pocket of the receiver and was able to locate the football, and he did a nice job of turning and finding the ball as opposed to just face guarding the receiver. That's an excellent play. First turnover of the game at Mississippi Valley State. Watch the eyes of the defender. He just looks it in. The ball, not a good judgment there, and certainly the receiver fell down and helped the cause.
Yeah, that receiver would have had to have played defender to get that ball away.
Yep.
And the Delta Devils get a turnover. So things have calmed down for them. It's still a daunting task if you're looking at the scoreboard, but they're making some noise in this game. A completion far side and good yardage after the catch. Grant Sims, they get him in open space. Ike Calderon makes the tackle.
Some nice shake by Grant Sims just on the quick bubble screen outside there, and you've got to make that first guy miss, and that's what Sims did, and got 9 yards on the play. So Rick Comagee and his troops are settling down, and if they can get a score here before half, I think that would be tremendous for the ball club.
They run, and they get nothing on that carry. Thomas Stokes on the EMU stop.
It's not been a lot of rushing yards so far. Everything in Mississippi Valley's favor has been through the air, so they've got to continue to feature that run. But ultimately, they're going to have to make it by hitting these very talented wide receivers, and they've got some nice schemes going, and I like what they are doing to attack.
3rd down and 2. The Delta Devils, boy, would they love to get some points on the board before halftime. They're at their own 45. Quarterback keep, quarterback push, first down. Austin Bray, not a nimble runner per se. Ilke Calderon makes the stop.
Nice call, though. Quarterbacks draw out of the shotgun, and you get that good upfield rush, and he's able to trudge forward. So Austin Bray having a nice, productive half here, both running and passing the football. 9
of 16 in the air, but it is paramount they get some points. 1st and 10 from the 44. Bray will throw under pressure, too high. Had a lot of zip on that ball, and he was looking for Natron Brooks, the senior tight end, 6'4", 241. Geraldo was the closest EMU defender. That ball too high and too hot.
Well, the protection has definitely settled down as well, and I think you can see that Austin Bray has some ability once he gets a clean pocket, because he does have playmakers on the outside. So that has helped this passing game settle down a little bit, and they're starting to get some production. But as you mentioned, Dan, love to get some points on at the end of this half.
2nd down and 10. They will throw far side, wide open. Caught in space, close to a first down. Grant Sims, they call his number again. A lot of time for them to work with. Kyle Ratchwall makes the stop. 3rd down and short. We saw Eastern's defensive line playing so good early. Now they've come to earth a little bit. See if they can make a big stop here on 3rd down and 3. As Austin Bray takes the Delta Devils into Eagle territory. EMU looks like they might bring some extra pressure here. And they complete it. Oh, the ball is dropped. Did they say he got it? No. Boy, that was awfully close to a catch, but the hit on Natron Brooks by Geraldo forced it to an incompletion.
Yeah, it's called a run to the sticks route, and it was well executed, but he just did not finish the play. You could sense that the blitz was coming and took it right, the play clock right down to the end just to kind of get a sense of the defense, but just couldn't make the completion there. But good call and just couldn't do it.
He needed to hold that ball for 1 extra second and just couldn't do it. And now Justin Reed will have to punt. And he'll try to place this, and it takes a good, well, not a great hop, but pretty good for the Delta Devils, who will down it inside the 10. So bad field position for EMU, but all is right on the scoreboard. A 21-0 second quarter lead at home. Eastern football, bad field position, but everything else has been good for the Eagles. A 21-0 lead here. They run, and they get an explosion run up the middle. How about this carry? Boy, you don't expect Ian Erickson to showcase that much speed, but once he got that space in that hole, boom, he just took off.
Boy, he was quick through the hole. Excellent job of blocking, but Erickson did a marvelous job. Nice cross action there, and then Erickson does the rest. Terrific run.
31 yards on that run. They'll go back to him. He's probably like, hey, I just went 31 yards.
Right.
I could take a breather here, but they go to him and give him a couple yards on that first down carry.
Both these backs have been very productive. They're running with confidence. They got their pads low, and this offensive line's doing a marvelous job.
Third touch in a row for Erickson. This time he'll kind of pick his way for some yardage out beyond the 45.
Erickson just a sophomore as well. You've got two very talented young running backs here, and it's nice to be able to alternate series, keep both guys fresh, and both been very productive so far.
3rd down and 4. Time to throw, complete. Very close to a first down, pushed out of bounds is Sam Browning, the tight end senior. Sure that spot is about half a yard short. But if you're Chris Creighton, you're going to go for it, right?
Oh, yeah. This is a big physical offensive line. You've got a big fullback in there, and Erickson has been really hot in this possession.
And the officials will call timeout here. One of the changes we should mention with this pause is we had the replay officials come in before the game, and they shared with us the point of emphasis this year,
Mississippi Valley State,
as the Delta Devils call a timeout. This year in college football, the officials in the replay booth will have the ability to make a targeting call even if one isn't made on the field. And again, that ties right back into the fact that it's all about protecting the player, keeping him out of harm's way as much as possible, so that the authority for the replay booth to make the targeting calls, even if nothing happens on the field, that's going to be tangible this year.
Yeah, and if they can get a view of it and it's really an egregious foul, then they can make that determination. So just continued emphasis on the safety of the game, and they're giving these replay officials a little bit more authority up here to make that call if it is somehow not seen correctly by the on-field officials. So, just a continuing effort to make it a safer game, to make sure that it's a level playing field, and you're kind of penalized when need be.
And they told us too that the number of targeting calls was up actually a little bit more last year.
Yeah, which is a little disappointing.
Yeah, they don't like that, but that's why they stay on top of it, and those officials do a great job. It's a 24/7 all-year job, and we see another good run by Erickson, who continues to push. But we have the good fortune of talking with Bill Carollo, the director of officials for the Big Ten and the Mid-American Conference, and I think the Missouri Valley Conference too. And, he's very good explaining every year about how proactive they are to keep improving, working, making sure that they can make the officiating as good as possible year in and year out. 1st and 10, they will complete to about the 40-yard line as Sam Browning, we're starting to call his number a lot more here.
Yeah, good use of the tight ends, and Todd Porter really looks relaxed in the pocket. It's a nice, easy delivery. He's accurate, he's on time, and he continues to move the football.
Porter 7 of 12 passing for 84 yards. And he'll throw here, deep ball in the middle, caught. Tough catch, but Browning again as they continue to work out their hot streak. 2nd down and 6. Now it's a big first down get for the Eagles.
Yeah, another nice play action pass, and that middle of the field just opened up well for the tight end, and another accurate throw.
Van's going to run and pick his way down to about the 20, maybe the 21-yard line.
Yeah, good look at Shaq Van. Yeah, outstanding young running back, and he does such a good job in pass protection, route running, and of course carrying the football. So he's kind of a triple threat kind of guy.
Eastern Michigan using the clock liberally here. We're down to almost a minute left in our first half. Eagles try to pile on just a little bit more here before halftime. This play blows dead. All 3 of Eastern Michigan's touchdowns have come on the ground. The third one we thought was a little questionable because we thought there was a fumble right at the goal line, but the officials let that touchdown stand. Eastern Michigan playing with their backup quarterback, Todd Porter. Brogan Roback would have been the starter, suspended indefinitely. Don't know when he's coming back,
yeah,
so this is an important opportunity for Todd Porter and really Chris Creighton. You got to have performance from your quarterback in this level of college football.
Number 72, the 5-yard penalty. He's 2nd down.
Yeah, you never know when injuries.
10-second runoff. Game clock. Please set the game clock to 49 seconds. The clock will start on my signal.
But injuries, and we're dealing with young adults, and they're going to make some mistakes, and so if somebody's out of the lineup, they always say next man up, and I think Todd Porter has represented himself very well, and Chris Creighton's got to be really pleased with the way he's performed this first half.
2nd and 11 from the 28, clock ticking inside 40 seconds left. Porter's going to throw, and it is just a little bit too much. Eddie Dougherty was the intended wideout, but a flag inside the 5, probably contact from that Delta Devil defender.
Yeah, a little bit of a hold right there at the end of the route. Corey Brown running with the defender about the 6 or 7 yard line.
Pass interference, defense, number 40. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
That's on Corey Brown, and that really hurts MVSU.
Just grab the arm there as that ball goes by. So unfortunate penalty there for the Delta Devils.
Porter throws wide open, complete, touchdown EMU. No sweat for Antoine Porter. Out of the backfield, and the Eagles score in the air to go up 27-0.
Busted coverage there, looked like, by the Delta Devils as Antoine Porter all alone in the flat, picked up a nice block by his buddy and just virtually walks in untouched in the end zone. So well schemed, nice drive by EMU, and ends up in a touchdown pass. 2 touchdowns passing, 2 touchdowns rushing.
The PAT knocked on through, and the Eagles roll again. A late second quarter touchdown. They did all their scoring in the first quarter until right now.
Just a nice series there by Eastern Michigan, particularly Todd Porter. I thought he threw the ball extremely well, and he found a lot of different receivers during the possession.
Coming up at half, we'll take a look ahead at what's coming this college football weekend. This is just the tip of the iceberg. We know it's the longest weekend of college football, starting Thursday, running through Monday, but it seems like there's great matchups everywhere. And we'll talk to Chris Creighton as well, who's got a lot to be happy about. With a 28-0 lead, we'll talk to the head coach of the Eagles as they go to the locker room.
Well, I think we're all excited for college football to start out. We had a nice summer with the Olympics, but now it's college football, and got started last night with some interesting games at Appalachian State. Tennessee was a wild finish, and now we're getting into this big weekend. A lot of marquee matchups, so we'll highlight those as the game goes on. But it's a terrific, fun weekend, and you get that extra day off on Mondays, so you might as well enjoy a lot of college football.
Yeah, I know you came a little bit antsy here today. Since the Olympics, you were kind of getting restless around the house.
I know it, yeah.
Saying, let's get this college football thing going.
Yeah, doing a lot of stuff around the house, getting outside, but now it's back in front of the TV.
Yep.
Excited for some great games.
Back to work, and this kickoff taken inside the 5. And a pretty good return for the Delta Devils. Gets it out to about the 27. O'Brien Anderson on the kick return for the Delta Devils.
Well, you had a sense that Mississippi Valley State was kind of creeping back into the game, but they just can't get enough sustained to get into the Eastern Michigan territory and get a chance to score. And then you turn it back to Eastern Michigan, and they march right down and put a 4-touchdown lead on you. So a little bit demoralizing here in the latter part of this first half.
Yeah, they didn't help themselves with two first quarter turnovers. Eastern Michigan had good field position, and that's never a good recipe if you're trying to win on the road. Charlie Crenshaw running that time for MVSU, but we're inside 10 seconds, and that will effectively end our first half of football. So it's been a picturesque night weather-wise here at Eastern Michigan, and when the Eagles fans look at the scoreboard, it's picturesque there as well. Chris Creighton's going to have a lot of good things to tell us about, I'm sure. We'll be talking on him via headset in just a moment. Say we're thankful for the weather.
Beautiful.
Sometimes these opening weekends are filled with storms, lightning delays, heat. We have none of that tonight here in Ypsilanti. Yes, thank you. A picturesque, pigskin Friday night here. Michigan is playing across the street tomorrow in Ann Arbor. So the folks here in Michigan are going to have a good weekend of weather in their college football world. And yes, it's a great setting for college football here at Eastern Michigan. They've done some unique things to make this stadium a good experience for the Eagles fans that come. This is, I think, the second or third year with the gray turf, which takes a little bit of getting used to.
It does, yeah, but it's a nice, interesting contrast. But it grows on you, and it is a good look. And there's some enthusiasm in the stadium, which you like to see. They've certainly been happy with the results on the scoreboard and the way this team has come out and performed in the first half. And so let's see if Eastern Michigan can continue the dominance and what Coach Creighton said to them at half to kind of clean some things up. But you look at Pat O'Connor there. Pat O'Connor's just, he set the tone early. 4.5 tackles and a couple sacks. He stripped the football on the sack and got that first turnover. And so he's been brilliant. No surprise there. He's a tremendous leader and just an outstanding performer. And we're going to see him on Sundays after his career here with Eastern Michigan.
We just saw, that Todd Porter. One thing that's changed a little bit from your day and age, your era at Purdue is hairstyles aren't quite the same, are they, Coach?
No, just a little bit. You got the headband, you got the look there, but I think Todd Porter has acquitted himself very well there in that first half. I thought he made the one mistake with the interception, but other than that, he's been pretty letter perfect. So Coach Creighton's got to be pleased with his effort, and they've got balance in the attack, and every coach wants to see that. So we'll see how they attack here in the second half.
Yeah, it's always nice to get that good half of football under your belt. You just kind of take a deep breath, kind of relax, and you don't feel like, you're not worried about, hey, what's the score? You can just play.
Yeah, and there's some coaching points, no question, at half, because it wasn't a perfect half by any stretch of the imagination, but you've got some things to build upon, and that's what they're looking. And then conversely on the other sideline with Rick Comagee, just a few good things, but just not enough to be competitive in this game. And they've got a lot of work ahead of them. Austin Bray, I thought, moved it around a little bit in the second quarter to make some things happen, but this guy has got to continue to make plays, and that's, Brooke Chambers.
The Delta Devils will get the football to start the second half. And, you're realistic if you're Mississippi Valley State. You don't come here necessarily thinking that you're going to get out of here with a win, but you do want to come in, be competitive, and see good things. And to your point, Mark, you just made, it's just a matter of, not connecting all the dots. Some good things. They've got to get more production from Booker Chambers. He's done good things when he's gotten the football in his hands, but it's just a matter of maybe finding him a little bit more.
Yeah, and this is the first game. I'm sure he challenged him at half to let's get on the scoreboard and let's start playing Delta Devil football here, and let's find some things that we can build upon in this early season. And I think he's got a quarterback that he can like here in Austin Bray, and it all starts up front with that offensive line. When he gets protection, he can be pretty effective.
So they start from the 25. And they'll throw on first down. They unload it, and it's incomplete. So the pressure continues to come on Austin Bray. It's not been a lot of downtime for him in the pocket. He's had to move that pocket a lot tonight.
Yeah, Pat O'Connor was coming around the bend here, and he almost had to strip again, and Austin Bray had to get off of his spot a little bit, and he never did reset his feet, and thus an inaccurate throw. But you can just see the effect that O'Connor has in this pass rush.
They'll throw back the other side. That's complete. Not an easy catch. As the tackle made by Daquan Pace, Stephen McIntosh on the catch. He threw that ball right where it had to go. Not a huge gain, though. Ball is out to the 29-yard line, so it brings up a 3rd down and 6. Pump fake. Ball too high, intended for McIntosh again. Daquan Pace was right there on him, but not a well-thrown ball, and it brings up 4th down for the Delta Devils.
Yeah, I thought Austin Bray kind of predetermined where he was going to go with the football. They went with the pump fake, hoping that the corner would jump the inside route down the numbers, and they kind of, kept their discipline and kept the coverage. So he's just got to let this route happen and trust his eyes and make the correct read.
Eastern looking like they want to bring some pressure on this punt. And they come pretty strong, but they get it off successfully. It's a good punt, fair catch, taken by EMU at the 36-yard line. So Eagles football, 2 rushing touchdowns in the first quarter, then 2 passing touchdowns. A 37-yard punt by Justin Reed for the Delta Devils. And boy, it really kind of changes the mood for the quarterback to come out. You're up 28 points. Your whole mental state just changes, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I think you'll see maybe a little conservative brand of football here to just start to eat clock a little bit. You're not going to get totally conservative, but you're going to just start featuring the run game a little bit more and kind of take control of that line of scrimmage.
Shaq Van on the carry there on first down. They'll call his number again, and he'll try to get wide. Dives ahead for a gain of maybe 3 yards. Gain of 2. Eastern Michigan's had good diversity in their running game with both Van and Erickson putting up good numbers in the first half. 2nd down and 8. Porter under some pressure, complete for a first down. That's in traffic, but he connects. And again, the ball going all over the field. Sergio Bailey on the grab there.
Well, just a really nice throwing lane that time. A good vision by Todd Porter. He had a clean pocket and just threw a nice relaxed delivery to Bailey for a nice gain.
Van running in the middle. Maybe one, but they're inside the 35. Khalil Young on the stop. And again, the Eastern Michigan season kind of turned a little bit in a different direction. August 23rd was the day that Chris Creighton announced that Brogan Roback, their starting quarterback, their returning quarterback, he's been suspended, and it now is indefinite. So right now for Todd Porter, he's got a great chance to, just play football, which if you're, the guy at number 2 on the depth chart, that's all you want to do is get out on the field, right?
Yeah, all of a sudden this opportunity has been put in his lap, and I think he has taken advantage of it. And I think that's what you do. You prepare yourself to be the starter, and in this case.
False start, offense, number 71, 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
I'm sure Brogan Roback has some things to do to prove to the coaching staff and to his teammates that he's ready to come back and be a contributor to this ball club. But for right now, it's Todd Porter's team, and I think he's been leading very well so far in this football game.
Darian Terrell called for the EMU penalty, 2nd and 13. They'll throw, underthrown, but it's complete. Far side, and they get yardage after the catch, down to about the 10. Johnny Newplow. We haven't called his name tonight, but we know there's good things coming from him for Eastern.
Once again, excellent protection, and Newplow runs a great route. He comes back to the football and then does some nice things after the catch. So he has moved the football around to a lot of different receivers tonight.
That's a 27-yard get. Porter now 10 of 15 passing for EMU. The officials want to review this last play. Do they think he was down when he caught the ball? Did his knee hit the ground? Maybe that's what they're going to look at.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they're reviewing. That could have very well been the case. Here's Porter to Newplow, and does that knee hit? Good call, Dan.
Yeah.
I think that's correct. Yeah, that knee is down.
So it's going to cost Eastern some yardage. Saw Ferry and Tony try to make that tackle and came in a little too fast and couldn't make the stop. Eastern Michigan has 6 different receivers, and that's what a coach loves to see. Todd Porter spreading the wealth.
Well, if indeed they overturn this and bring it back, I think this gives you the value of replay and where it is so important now. I think they're trying to figure out what yard line it is. So Todd Porter been very impressive. Good yardage per attempt, which is the kind of the benchmark number you look at, but he looks extremely comfortable. He doesn't look like he ever gets too emotional out there. You just like his demeanor, and you certainly like the way he's throwing the football.
It'd be interesting to see how mobile he is, as a quarterback. Is he a guy that can make plays with his feet?
Yeah, and the competition will definitely step up here in the coming weeks. And can he avoid the rush, and can he step up and be physical in that pocket? We've not had to really witness that tonight, but that will be a true test for him.
Eastern Michigan going to Missouri next weekend, so a big challenge.
After review, the ruling on the field is reversed. The ball was caught with a knee on the ground. It will be 3rd down and 3 yards to go at the 29-yard line. The clock will start on my signal.
So the Delta Devils get a break. Ball is pushed back to just inside the 30. But you know what? If you're Chris Creighton, you're like, okay, we get to run a few more plays. That's not the worst thing in the world.
Right.
So it's 3rd down and 3 for Eastern Michigan. 2 rushing touchdowns in the first quarter. A late passing touchdown in the first quarter staked them to a 21-0 lead, and then a late passing touchdown before halftime is why we're at 28-zip. And they're going to run and get a big push from Shaq Van, who takes it down to almost the 5-yard line. Wow, he's got some power.
He does, and a nice short yardage call, and that's well blocked at the point of attack, and Shaq Van doesn't need a whole lot of space as he wriggles through and for a big play and a 1st down.
That's 21 yards. They'll call his number again. This time he stays up, gets down to about the 6.
He's just a young sophomore, so this guy has a bright future ahead of him as an EMU Eagle, and back-to-back really solid runs. He's just not going to go down on first contact.
Play fake. Porter on his feet, inside the 5, down to about the 3.
Well, I think you got your answer about escapability. He was able to move around and make a positive effort out of a negative play there. So well done by Porter, and he just has a tempo about him. Watch him move his feet and avoid some tacklers, and he needs to get down a little bit sooner to avoid that big hit, but good job by him.
And I'd like to see him put the ball away a little bit better, too.
Yep.
3rd and goal from the 3. Porter in the air, and it is caught. Touchdown, Eastern Michigan. He put it right where he had to. Sharp pass over the middle, caught by Nigel Kilby.
This was a tight window here. Just a little bit of a cross action, and Kilby comes in to the back of the end zone, and great concentration with the defender draped on him, and that's a nice way to secure the football. And 3rd touchdown pass of the evening, and Kilby's had a couple of big plays tonight.
So Eastern Michigan picking up where they left off. Point after sails through the uprights in Eastern Michigan. A comfortable 35-0 lead here. 10:32 left to go in our 3rd quarter at the factory. Well, Eastern Michigan's had some close games in their openers, but this one is not turning out to be one of them, and that's A-OK for Chris Creighton. Ball caught in the end zone, and they're going to bring it out. And this looks like a good return for the Delta Devils all the way out to the 40-yard line. Trey Sims showing some speed on special teams. A flag, though, thrown at about the 17-yard line. We might have this come back a little bit.
Personal foul. Illegal block below the waist. Return team, number 24. Penalty will be half the distance to the goal. 1st down.
Yeah, very unfortunate penalty here. Let's see if we can pick this up. It was a... Yes. Low block there, so that will bring that very nice return back. So unfortunately for the Delta Devils.
So the ball going back inside the 10. It's an 8-yard line spot for Austin Bray. And they try to hang on and show some life here. They will run on first down. That one's going nowhere. 2 flags. 1 flag thrown. He got tripped in the backfield. Couldn't even stay up in a hold against the Delta Devils. You know, really the worst thing for MVSU, the winning and losing, okay, it is what it is. But you don't want to unravel and kind of have the game
Holding. Offense,
come apart
69.
like this.
Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to continue to execute. You cannot afford to get down because you're down 5 touchdowns. You've got to be out here taking care of your own business, everybody doing their job, and start concerning yourself with executing like you do in practice. And they're not going to win this football game, but this is the first step in many going forward.
Quarterback switch for Mississippi Valley State. The Delta Devils bring in Thurston Rubin under center. He throws on first down, caught out of bounds, but they go right to the air with him. There's the background on Thurston Rubin. He is not listed as the number 2 quarterback on their depth chart, so they're definitely mixing things up a little bit.
Interesting change here, and you just kind of take a chance on somebody and see if they can make some plays. Austin Bray certainly competed hard, and maybe he's a little beaten up, and they don't want to take any more chances, but this is another opportunity for a player.
They hand off, and they get back to about the 5-yard line with Thomas Stokes as the ball carrier. And let's reference the fact that that's the way your college football career started. You came in as a true freshman. You were not the starter in your first game, but you expected to get playing time. And what was your, not your stat line from your first game, but how did you handle the anxiety of A, knowing you were going to play, and then B, because you know some quarterbacks don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I fully expected to play, but I wasn't sure when, and those first couple series were just kind of a blur, and you just try to settle down and figure it out. But as the game progressed, I felt much better and started making plays, and it was a very close game. And well, what a great play there. Oh, my.
Wow. Rubin extended that play. Couldn't get anything going out of it. Ilke Spearman was the one who came up, and Jason Beck was the one who finished it off. But I want to cap that story too, Mark, because the odd thing that you told me about that game was Purdue had opened that season at Michigan State, which is who opens their season with a conference game.
Oh, I know it. There weren't any like preseason cupcakes. We just dove right into the Big Ten schedule, and then we had some out of conference. So an interesting take on the schedule, but you know, my sophomore year, then we hosted Michigan State and won that football game, but it was a tough way to start as a freshman.
Eastern Michigan, the fair catch. They'll have great field territory. And we will have Eastern Michigan football when we come back. The Eagles have been running and passing effectively. A 35-0 lead at home here against MVSU. Darius Jackson is trying to secure an NFL career with the Dallas Cowboys. The first Eastern player to be drafted in 7 years. And, you know, you can see his numbers. He's right there ready to hopefully make an impact down in Big D.
Yeah, and it certainly helps your program to get players at the next level. And
jump ball caught down at about the 10-yard line. And again, Eastern Michigan hooking up with Nigel Kelly.
Boy, another terrific play by Kilby. Look at him go up for that football. It's just a little jump ball, and you take advantage of his great height and athleticism. He's had a nice ball game tonight. That's his 3rd reception. That's a great matchup for your over a DB. If you can get a tight end / wide receiver out there and just give him a chance to make a play.
28-yard hookup. Eastern's got an injured player on the field. Nope, that's a Delta Devil player. As soon as we can get a line of sight on who it is, we'll let you know. And that's Corey Brown, who is being helped up. Doesn't look good. Maybe at least he got off. He got up quickly. You don't want to have him laying there long, but looks like he's favoring his right foot.
Kind of an undersized outside linebacker, but boy, he's very aggressive and very physical, and you hope Corey Brown's going to be okay, because he's been one of the bright spots tonight for this Delta Devil defense.
Eastern going for the end zone, high and incomplete. So Eastern Michigan with a lot of different options now with a healthy lead. I can't think of anything Chris Creighton could really nitpick on.
No, you'd, from a coach's perspective, I'm sure there's some things that maybe aren't totally pleasing, but gosh, you're up 35-0 and you're dominating both lines of scrimmage. And
play fake, the screen is caught. Good tackle made. Kibbe again on the tackle, or sorry, on the catch, but boy, he's really stood out tonight for a guy who's not expected to necessarily be a big prominent player. Got 4 catches tonight.
Yeah, he's a nice looking player, has good soft hands, and he gets separation, and he's caught everything his direction, so you can't ask for much more out of him tonight.
Yeah, he's been a game changer for EMU. 3rd down and 8. Blitz coming, they'll throw, end zone, too high, incomplete. No flag. Well, they want to Kilby again, but he had Ferry and Tony was right on him. And the ball wasn't especially well thrown either, so it's time for Eastern to try a field goal. So this is not too big of a kick. About a 25-yard short kick for Paul Fricano. Fricano is a former walk-on. And he boots it. Sorry, not a former walk-on. He was a walk-on. Once a walk-on, always a walk-on, right? You don't change that, but he had to overcome a couple of guys on the depth chart, and he puts that one through. So the Eagles bump that lead to 38-0 here at the factory at Ypsilanti, and you know, like we just addressed earlier, when you're the coach and you're looking at the game film on Sunday and you start formulating what are you going to point on your team in the meetings on, you know, Monday or Tuesday, whatever, the challenge is always to find the right things to talk about. Well, fortunately for Chris Creighton, he's going to be talking about a lot of small things, not big things. Right.
There's always technique things and just little coaching points that you're never going to have a perfect effort out there, but certainly when you're leading 38-0, you're doing a lot of good things from a offensive and defensive standpoint. So, you know, he's going to build on this. He's going to say, when we play our game, these types of things can happen. Certainly we can clean up some areas, but it's awfully nice to be able to coach from a win rather than a tough loss. And so the wins have been few and far between, so they're gonna enjoy this one for a little while and just kind of build on what they've seen.
So the time of possession favors the Delta Devils. Not by much. Of course, that means nothing to the grand scheme of things. Here's Trey Sims, who showed a lot of speed on a previous kick return. And again, the Eastern Michigan fans coming into this game, Mark, a little anxiety when they found out about the suspension for Brogan Roback. Again, it's undetermined how long that suspension will be. So now your offense is in the hands of an untested quarterback with Todd Porter, and he's really answered the bell tonight, and at least taken that anxiety off of everyone's mental plate.
Yeah, he's found a comfort level in the pocket, and credit to his offensive line. Unique formation there. You just had 3 interior linemen and kind of spread it out, so pretty effective. 5-yard gain on first down.
So Thurston Rush at quarterback, he's got some mobility. We're seeing a little more athleticism now with him under center than we did with Todd Porter.
Yeah, and we'll see some more called runs with Ruben in there. So
timeout, Eastern Michigan. Their first timeout of the half.
Eastern Michigan's going to take a timeout.
You've just got the center and 2 guards, and then your 2 tackles are split out, and this is quite a unique formation, but pretty effective here as, very few coaches kind of use the rules to their favor, and this was nicely done. The defensive end had to come up the field, and Ruben just tucked it for a nice gain.
That's good creative play calling.
Yes. When you're outmanned, you're always trying to look for some type of advantage and take advantage of what you've got from the skill set.
So this game really changed in the first quarter. Mississippi Valley State with 2 turnovers. They gave Eastern good field position, and the Eagles were very glad to exploit all of those opportunities. They led 21-0. Look at this pressure coming. He avoids it, but ball is loose on the turf and kicked out of bounds. That's a flag. Well, that play was all set to get blown up and screwed up, and it was.
Yeah, they went back to that formation, and not nearly as favorable results as we take another look. It was a lot of pressure right from the get-go. A lot of green jerseys in chase, and this did not end well, and eventually will lead to a penalty as the offensive lineman kicks that ball out of bounds.
Well, a lot of mistakes on this play. One of them was he should have gone down. And right here, what should have happened is
number 73.
Kajan Spradley
has lost it down.
Should have dove on the ball as opposed to kicking it out.
Yeah. All right, nice. Third down.
So that brings up 3rd down. The ball is spotted at the 3-yard line. The first down marker is at the 30, so they've got about 27 yards to go. And with Ruben, sometimes that athleticism, you got to know when to kind of dial it down. He'll throw, and it is tipped. Almost caught. He almost got a break, but it falls incomplete. Intended for Austin Sanders.
A great effort by Sanders, and they're just trying to make a play on the 3rd and long, and almost came up with it, but just a very tough situation for Ruben and the offense. And this will be a tough effort to get rid of this punt. Punter's been very busy tonight for the Delta Devils.
Blake Banham set to return. Justin Reed, the punter from Australia. And Eastern ready to get good field position again here. Now another flag thrown. Delay a game.
Offense. Half the distance to the goal line. 4th down.
Well, you can't get much more in a bad position than you could if you're Justin Reed. And there it goes, sails out of bounds. And that's a safety. Well, I didn't want to make another comment about MVSU unraveling, but they kind of forced my hand.
That series, it basically unraveled for them. They just went completely backwards, and one mistake following the other, and that ended in a safety, and which is just never a good thing in a special team situation.
Yeah, you know, like we kind of addressed earlier, you know, it's one thing to get beat man up one-on-one against a team like Eastern Michigan, but you don't want to do the things that will completely take you out of this game. And, you know, for Rick Comgie, there's just been too many self-inflicted mistakes.
Yeah, and you get outmanned a little bit, and then it just compounds itself, and then you start making bad mistakes and trying to do too much, and therefore it gets out of hand, and that's what happened here in the last 2-3 minutes. And he's got to settle this group down a little bit and get back to doing the right things, and at least be halfway representative here of your university.
And you probably want to tell your team, hey, look, guys, just forget the scoreboard.
Yeah.
So we're just worried about playing good football.
That's right.
Not easier said than done, but at least that would be the message. And now, of course, Eastern's going to get the football back after the safety on a punt that was, I think that punt might have sailed through the uprights. That's on that snap. Sorry, the snap it sailed through the uprights. And here's a return, and here's a big push on the return. And this is Barcham, who stays on his feet inside the 20, 10, 5-yard line. Finally brought down. Banham finally doing it. It's been a long time since they had a safety here at Eastern Michigan. You got to go all the way back. But what about this return? A tremendous one at that by Blake Banham.
Yeah, a tremendous effort there, and a great move on the kicker, and then Banham just does a marvelous job on that return. So a bunch of happy teammates for Banham on that one. He's just a tremendous effort there.
So they are down inside the 5. Eastern ready to pile it on again. This is Banham on the push. Touchdown, EMU. So Eastern Michigan, well, the Eagles are soaring.
Yeah.
You'll let me slide that in there, yeah.
Absolutely.
And this guy's flying as high as anybody.
Very nice. Nice reward for Banham, and his nice return. He puts him in there for the lead play and the touchdown.
Eastern Michigan recorded their first safety in 11 years. And now the touchdown makes it a 46-0 lead. Blake Banham living large for Eastern in their opening game. Blake Banham for Eastern Michigan doing all kinds of good things today, and what a week it has been for him. It's not been the typical week for that young fellow. We'll talk about that in just a moment as Eastern set to kick off here with a little over 5 minutes left in our third quarter, and the Delta Devils will down it with Banham coming in as a walk-on. You know, we always love these feel-good stories. This is practice from a couple weeks ago. Practice interrupted. by the police here in Ypsilanti. They take over practice, and they're calling out Blake Banham here for some reason. Looks pretty serious. Oh, not so serious. It turns out they've just awarded him a full scholarship.
You know, that is the greatest scene in the world, because these walk-ons, they come in, they're just kind of practice fodder. They're out there all the hours that the scholarship players are on, and now he gets awarded a scholarship for his final 3 years, and you can see the respect that his teammates have for him. And Blake Banham is one of those true, this is a day and a week that he'll remember the rest of his life, and those are just special memories it makes participating in football that much worth it.
It's funny, Mark, because we always assume that, well, college athletics is all about, high-profile recruits, and that those are the guys that are always going to get the attention. But a guy who just plugs, perseveres, shows persistence and dedication in long days and long nights, trying to just become a better football player, and it pays off.
And they love the game, and they're out there because they don't want to give it up, and they succeeded in high school, and they were just not quite good enough in college, but then you make something like that happen, and then it just makes you feel good about college football in general, because it is such a team building opportunity, and when a guy gets rewarded for a great effort and hard work, that's what you love to see.
So the quarterback carousel continues. Austin Bray back under center for MVSU. And this time they run, and they don't get much. Ball out to about the 38. Charlie Crenshaw carrying there. We saw Crenshaw with some ability to stretch the field.
Well, certainly a tough night for the Delta Devils. They've run into a very inspired, tough defense. It's just dominated them in every regard, but you just got to continue to pound away here and try to get better. I know it's cliche, but that's all you have left in this game, is just to try to continue to improve.
Jump ball near sideline, incomplete, but a late flag. And the Delta Devils are hoping that's interference on Stephen McIntosh. Calvin McGill is the defensive back.
Automatic first down.
So it's a first down get for MVSU. So they're going to move it inside Eastern Territory to about the 47. Timeout taken.
Timeout. Eastern Michigan.
EMU's going to use a timeout to collect their thoughts. And this is one of those games, Mark, where for a coach, I'm guessing it's a little hard to read your positives and negatives. I mean, when the score is this lopsided, is that hard in the film room, do you think, like tomorrow and Sunday when they're kind of digesting and processing all this?
Well, you hope when you sit down and watch the film, it's not as bad as it appears it is tonight. You may see some good things. You certainly see some things that can improve and will improve, but you try to go in and talk to your team and say, okay, this was a tough evening for us, but we're not going to start doubting ourselves. We learned a lot of valuable things tonight, that, we were a little overmatched physically, and we let things kind of slip away at different times, but we have got to continue to keep our focus to improve, because if we let this compound itself into next week with that hangover in the following week, then we're not going to be a very good program.
Yeah, and conversely, Chris Creighton can't let his team get all swept up in having a score like this.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be honest with his team, and they know that they were physically dominant over an overmatched opponent, and you take some good things away from it, but hey, it's not time to cancel practice by any means. The level of opponents is going to continue to increase, and so you got to build on this.
Yeah, with the Eagles going to Missouri next Saturday, that's going to be a challenge as they run against Eastern on first down. We're seeing some a little more activity in the MVSU running game. We're pretty happy with what we've seen from Charlie Crenshaw, the sophomore from Wetumpka, Alabama. Looks like a guy that's got some speed and some shiftiness in his running game. 2nd down and 8 from the 45. And they're going to play fake and throw. Little comeback, good catch. And again, the Joshua Banks grab for MVSU. Tackle by Ilke Calderon. So hey, at this point, if you're the Delta Devils, just keep playing. Forget that scoreboard. You know, you want to go into that next film session with some good things to be happy about, even if the final score doesn't go your way.
Well, and if I'm a coach, I want to see that my players are continuing to compete. There's going to be adversity in your life and in football, and you've got to be able to just keep doing your job, and I don't care what the scoreboard says.
Timeout. Mississippi Valley State.
And now the Delta Devils will blow a timeout, and they will take their first timeout of this second half of football. 2:33 left to go in our season opening game. Eastern Michigan for the Mid-American Conference, Mississippi Valley State from the SWAC. Both teams coming off of just 1-win seasons a year ago. So we emphasize the importance of trying to get off to a good start, and it's been all Eastern. Let's jump around the Mid-American Conference, update you on games that are happening tonight. One game from last night, of course, Central Michigan. They were all over Presbyterian. Games tonight, Albany, a road lead at Buffalo, and then Ball State on the road at Georgia State.
You know, Georgia State went into Muncie last year and beat the Cardinals on their home field, and so this is a program that's on the move. They've upgraded. They're in the city of Atlanta, and I like what they're doing. But Ball State with a new coaching change with Pete Lembo moving on, so things are changing a little bit in Muncie.
3rd down and 7. The Delta Devils, he's going to throw a deep ball, a lot of air under it, and incomplete. Looks like Stephen McIntosh kind of lost his footing there. I don't think he would have caught it anyway. It was very kind of overthrown. McIntosh, a redshirt freshman, 6'1", 180. Looks like a promising guy in that receiving corps for MVSU.
I like this receiving corps. There's some athletes and some guys that run good routes. They're disciplined, and I think when they're getting more against a like opponent, I think this team can win some games. I got to feel like they've improved over last year. Guys are a year older, and they just couldn't find it tonight, but I think they're going to do some damage this year.
Banham calls for the fair catch at the 11-yard line, and Eastern ready to bring their offense out. And if you're Chris Creighton and you're scripting this game in your head and hoping it unfolds the way it is, it could. It really kind of went the way you would have wanted it to. They got advantages early with 2 turnovers by MVSU. They took advantage of the turnovers. They took advantage of good field position, and they really haven't let off the gas either too much.
Yeah, they were physical in every phase, and if you're a coach, that's what you want to see, that you dominate both lines of scrimmage. You took the football away, and you scored with that football, and you took advantage of their mistakes, and then you did a lot of good things in both the passing game and the running game.
Boy, Shaq Band's going to blow this one wide open down the sideline. Finally brought out at about the 27. Boy, I tell you, in space, he can make things happen. Tony on the stop. But, man, did he get his Jets going. He goes from the 12-yard line all the way to the Delta Devils 27.
Yeah, this guy's not bad at all. And as I said earlier, he's got the speed to dip outside, and and hurt you with the home run type play, and then he beats you up inside the tackle too. So Shaq Van is a guy I really like, and I think he's going to be big this year for the Eagles.
That was a 59-yard run. And they run on that first down, lose a yard, 2nd and 11 from the 31. This play will not come off.
Offsides. Defense, number 63. Penalty, 2nd down.
Well, this is a tired defense for the Delta Devils. They have been on the field, they've been chasing, and they've been kind of overpowered most of the evening. So this is hard for that defensive line to continue to get that push.
2nd down and 6. Van gets the push beyond the linebacking core and down to about the 10 at the 11. Well, this is, as a running back, this is just one of those games where your motor just keeps revving hotter and hotter, because the more you run, the more you get, the stronger your confidence goes.
Yeah, absolutely. Shaq Van looks fresh as he did in the first quarter, and when you have success, you're going to find those openings.
Little sling pass complete. And this is Kevin Davis on the catch. And again, one of the things we've enjoyed most about watching Todd Porter tonight for EMU, he's sharing the ball with just about anybody on the field. Look at Shaq Van's numbers. How about that to start your season? 7 different receivers. 3 of different ones have caught touchdowns. Shaq Van scores another one for EMU.
Shaq Van continues his dominance in this football game, his 2nd carrying touchdown tonight and rushing touchdown, and he's just he's clearly the best back on the field. And
extra point is good, and Shaq Van continues to shine in his season opening game for EMU. Van averaging almost 8 yards a carry. Granted, the longest was 58, but still, he's been very impressive. And the best part is, if you're Chris Creighton, they haven't had to lean on Shaq on the ground. It's been Ian Erickson who's played very well too.
Yeah, they both have been outstanding, and they have taken the pressure off of Todd Porter, and Todd has performed very well himself. So it's fun when your running game gets going, because your linemen get enthused when they can start knocking people off the ball, and you've got a back of his quality behind you. That's fun for an offense.
Just a bit of time left in our 3rd quarter of football. Well, Eastern Michigan's opening games, going back the last 4 seasons, they've all been pretty close. Well, this is not going to fit the bill. This is a one-sided game for sure for EMU. And still 2 seconds of football left in our 3rd quarter. Looks like from the EMU sideline, we'll have a quarterback change here in a little bit. James Pencil Pencil, the freshman, 6'6", 237. That's pretty big.
That's good size.
Yeah, that's good size.
Absolutely.
He can see downfield pretty well.
Yes, yes.
And handoff, and the carry takes the ball out to about the 18-yard line. Thomas Stokes on the run, and that will close our third quarter of football. Eastern Michigan, they got up early, and they haven't looked back here against Mississippi Valley State. 54-0. Everybody getting in on the scoring for EMU. Fourth quarter football here on opening night at the Factory at Rynerson Stadium, and it has been an all-business performance by EMU, both on offense and defense. Deep throw here by Austin Bray. Jump ball incomplete, but a flag. Trey Sims, the intended receiver, with Austin Sanders on the coverage. See where the flag came.
Defense, number 18.
Was that ball catchable?
Yeah, I think so. It was a little bit underthrown, but the defender really didn't look back for the football and just kind of kept his concentration on the receiver. And the official felt there was some contact there, so made the call.
So that moves the football to the Delta Devils 34-yard line. Play action, not much pressure. Pass is caught in the slot. Good catch there, Trey Sims. They've looked for him a lot tonight, and that time he hooks up with Austin Bray for a big gain into EMU territory.
Yeah, nice throw and catch, a post route, right where he needed to do it, right away from the defender. And there have been plays to be had, but that time they were able to make the connection, and that was good to see.
That's good for 25 yards from the 40-yard line. They're going to throw again near side. Little ball underthrown. That probably could have been a catch if that ball had been thrown a little bit better. Joshua Rice for MVSU, the intended receiver. Of course, the name Jerry Rice.
Not a bad name.
Yes, right. Not a bad name to
Valley
have.
State,
Right.
yeah, lore. Yes.
Yeah, talk about a guy who kind of found his way from a school not known for its football prowess to becoming one of the all-time greatest receiver in NFL history. Phelps on the coverage.
There he is.
There he is.
Jerry Rice, Willie Totten. Jerry Rice is probably the greatest receiver ever to play the game. I mean, he was just dominant with Joe Montana and Steve Young on those 49er teams. And
pass interference.
And you played against him in the NFL, right?
yes, I was with the Rams when he was with the 49ers. And we played against them, of course, twice a year, and then in the NFC Championship in '89, I believe. But Jerry Rice and John Taylor was the other wide receiver. They just had a terrific offense, terrific team.
For Jerry Rice, what did you see in him that made him great? What was the separation factor that took him above the other wideouts?
His work ethic, for one. I mean, nobody was going to outwork Jerry Rice, but he was so fluid. Long strider, great hands, great route runner, and he was the perfect fit in that offense because he could run the slant routes, he could run the deep routes, he could do it all, and he was such a terrific competitor. Well, that's great defense there, no question, by Eastern Michigan.
Ooh, almost had it.
Yeah, great play.
So it brings up 2nd down and 10. Delta Devils still trying to, getting some points would take a little bit of sting out of this road trip. Working from the Eastern 26. Throw in the middle, that's complete. That's a good catch. The hook up there with Trey Sims to about the 16.
Trying to get something going here with Trey Sims. He's had a couple of nice catches in a row with the slant route that time and previously in the post route, so he's doing a nice job. And this is what I'm talking about. They're continuing to compete, and that's what you want to see as a coach, and they're delivering a little bit.
Pocket collapsing, he'll run and stay up, unload. Pretty dangerous throw, but it's incomplete. Natron Brooks, the intended receiver. Pretty good job just to avoid the sack by Austin Bray.
Austin just fighting for his life out there. Just got rid of it just in time.
Yeah, 14 of 29 passing for not even 70 yards, or 58 yards. Longest completion, 10 yards. On the run, not much room there for the Delta Devils, and Thomas Stokes, again, he's been the guy that's had the most touches in their running game. Yeah, the Delta Devils, their longest, they just haven't had many long completions today.
Yeah, they just had the 25-yarder to Sims, but I think that's been
that's about it.
The top one, yep.
Third and 7 from the 13. He's got time. He'll go in the end zone. Jump ball, touchdown. The Delta Devils, man, that's a tough catch with two defenders on him. The hookup with Joshua Banks ends the scoreboard shutout for MVSU.
Good execution. Happy for the Devils, the Delta Devils, that they got on the scoreboard. That was a good drive, and nice job of putting it where your receiver can go up and get it, and then you allow him to make a play, and that's a heck of an effort there for the touchdown.
Here comes the point after. So he hammers it home and makes it a 54-7 lead for EMU. The shutout is over. A big-time catch in the end zone, but Eastern still leads by a whole bunch in their. No shutout for Eastern Michigan, but it's not the worst thing in the world. That was a good catch in the end zone by the Delta Devils, and Eastern's going to run this ball back, and they're going to get a big run here on special teams. This is Austin Sanders up the far sideline. Wow.
Well, that's a good answer to a score as you get a big return, and